Hi everyone, Mike Moliterno with the Business Journal here, giving you another quick update from Governor DeWine's daily coronavirus press conference. We'll start off today with some positive news, a little bit of good news that was delivered at the end of the press conference from the director of the Ohio Department of Health, Dr. Amy Acton. She says the latest modeling shows that the social distancing policies and habits that have been put in place are starting to take effect, and that it is looking like they are starting to slow the spread of the coronavirus in Ohio. If you've seen any of those graphs where they talk about the curve and then you see the big one with the big spike and the longer one that doesn't spike nearly as high, and everyone's talking about flattening the curve. The initial projections that they were looking at with that big, giant, scary looking curve, those projections estimated that Ohio could see somewhere in the neighborhood of 62,000 new coronavirus cases per day. Now, in that scenario, we would have peaked somewhere around March 22nd, but again, that would have meant that our healthcare system would have been completely overrun and that a lot of people would have died unnecessarily, and that is something that they were trying to avoid. That other curve that they show, that much smaller mound-looking curve, those were their initial estimates once they started putting the social distancing policies in place. Those estimates showed around 9,800 new coronavirus cases per day. Those were their initial projections. Dr. Acton was happy to say today that what they are looking at now with the social distancing policies they have put in place, their models are now showing that what we're going to be looking at is somewhere around 1,600, that is 1,600 new coronavirus cases in the state of Ohio per day. So that is way down from what they were even sort of hoping for when they put all of these policies in place. Now, she wanted to make clear this is no time to take our foot off the pedal. This is no time to go out and celebrate. We need to keep this going. We need to keep practicing these policies. She said that, all it takes is just a little bit of us relaxing for a time, and those numbers will quickly jump back up. The lieutenant governor talked about how every day his administration is hearing from people and companies who are asking when we're going to be able to open things back up, when we're going to be able to get kind of life back to normal. Now, again, he said the good news is that right now the state is in a better place than they even thought it would be in. So that is good news. And that good news means that we are hopefully going to get out of this much sooner than we originally would have also. He said, however, the bad news is, sort of like Dr. Acton said, this is still ongoing, and that this isn't something where we can just all of a sudden turn off the switch and go back to life as usual. He also stressed that we still are suffering from a shortage of personal protective equipment, and that if we open everything back up, we will quickly flood the healthcare system, and that those people will not have the equipment they need. He said one of the first criteria that they're going to look for when they consider slowly rolling back some of these policies and opening things up a bit will be a steep drop in the number of new cases per day. So that's kind of going to be the first sign for when they're going to start to reassess things and say, okay, maybe we can start relaxing some of these policies. As to Governor DeWine's portion of the press conference, he also talked about the state of the stockpile of personal protective equipment in Ohio, and he wanted to make sure that everybody knew we are still very, very short. He said every single N95 mask is precious, and do not throw any of those masks away. He said now that Battelle Tech is up and running, they are now able to sterilize 160,000 masks per day, and those masks can be sterilized up to 20 times. So he told everyone, he wanted everyone to be sure that they know, do not throw masks away. Those masks need to be reused, and that is going to be something that they're going to be focusing on in the coming days. He also had a little bit of good news that the state of Ohio was given 100,000 N95 masks by Tim Cook and by Apple. And so those are currently being dispersed throughout the state, and those are going to be put to good use. Then he also announced a little bit of help for some of the businesses in Ohio who have been hurt by the shutdown. The Bureau of Workers' Compensation is going to be sending dividends to Ohio businesses. If approved by the board of the BWC, about $1.4 billion will be coming back to Ohio businesses, and the governor said that those checks would be sent out later this month. So again, some good news, but the main takeaway here is just keep doing what you're doing. For all the latest local coronavirus news, again, check back to businessjournaldaily.com. I'm Mike Moliterno. We'll see you next time.
717 Credit Union. Business services designed to meet your daily needs. Commercial loans, business deposits, merchant and payroll services. 717 Credit Union. It's knowing you were treated right every time.